No, I'm thinking like, even like, if she knew I was like having conversations, she would be, it's a sad story, but she would be like very spiteful. But I'll think more about what I'm comfortable with there.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I kind of like had decided I was probably going to leave and probably do some form of freelance writing, which is something I hadn't tried before. And Mickey called me and said, we have this really cool opportunity this is with PH. And she said, like, what would it take for you to leave your job? Like, how many hours of work would you need? She was just so thoughtful about the whole way that she did it. And so sort of, I could just tell that she was excited about this opportunity for a partnership, but she wasn't like just looking to fill that.
Right.
It felt very much like individualized and sort of like, would love to work with you and figuring that out for a while now. So that just felt really right. And just fast forward a couple months, and now I'm here working more than I thought I would. But, yeah, so should I talk about the PH partnership? I don't know if that's even a thing.
I mean, that's probably a little specific. I'm just thinking about like how much we'll have room for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe we can always like, maybe that goes in just the first question as far as like, I mean, you're doing kind of similar work. When you work with clients who aren't PH, you're doing similar work, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, yeah.
And
yeah, we probably don't need to be specific about who then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have you had, sometimes this is like a whole question, sometimes it's just a piece of it, but like, I think because we are a distributed team and not everybody has had a background in that, that's often worth talking about. Had you had any background in like work collaborating remotely and that kind of thing?
Actually, yeah, my the Sustainable Seafood nonprofit was all remote as well.
Okay, gotcha.
So I had a San Francisco coworker, but we were all over the place. Technically, like based in Seattle. So I had, yeah.
So that may just be like, and that didn't worry me, you know, as part of like joining because I had experience with it. But what has it been like, just in general to collaborate with this team, maybe on the more sort of like, mentality than sort of video conferencing side of things?
Well, it's funny because I actually was a little bit concerned just because I'm very much a person who likes to be
that's true.
Social. And I'd done it before. It was fine. It was so flexible that it was really lovely. But I didn't remember it as like something I was dying to get back to necessarily. Like I didn't leave my job because I didn't want to go to an office. That's definitely not true. And so I love, like, my favorite thing in the morning is seeing people and having coffee and like chatting. I wish I could just do that every day. But at Job Portraits, I don't know if it's the way that we communicate or it kind of does feel that way. I don't know if like Job Portraits has mastered the use of Slack and video call or what it is, or maybe it's just like the personalities in the mix, but I feel very connected. I feel like I've gotten to know almost everyone pretty well. Some people I like may not meet in person for many years. You know, there's no like plan necessarily for that. And that's hopefully that we get together, but you tell me. But yeah, there's something, it's also maybe, I think it is personalities and like Natasha being one, to be able to have like creative leads and people who you're kind of like always connected with. You're not just a writer that's locked in a room until your writing is done and then you like submit it over email. We don't even use email. I think that's like a surprising fact that everyone should just know. We don't use email internally. I sent an email my first week and Jackson said, it's actually not a good use of email. Like, could you actually save emails for like external stuff? And that was kind of like a cool fact. Yeah.
I mean, let's dig more into that sort of like you talked about personality and like just the sort of like culture. Like what's different about this team? You know, it doesn't have to be different from every like job you've ever had. Maybe it's just like, you know, something that's unusual here. But yeah, what's different about the sort of personalities or culture